Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Temple Emanu-El's Erev Shabbat worship service. I'm Rabbi Davidson with Rabbi Ehrlich and Cantor Glasman. Though the three of us are sadly looking out on an empty sanctuary this evening, we know that emptiness is not the same as absence. We feel your presence with us, just as we hope you feel ours with you and yours with one another. During moments of difficulty and darkness, we search for beams of light to lift our spirits. Shabbat is such a light, and so are Lev Glasman and Jack Cohn, who tomorrow will become B'nai Mitzvah. Lev is the son of our cantor Mo and Rachel Glasman, Jack the son of Adam and Judy Cohn. We wish them a heartfelt Mazal Tov, and we invite them now to kindle our Shabbat lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik shel Shabbat.
Okay, you guys, wave from home. We are so proud of you. We continue now with the singing of Lecha Dodi, page 6 in our prayer book. You can find it on our website.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Sha'amor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmiyanu el am yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem ultiferet v'litchila Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri Ki ba'orech kumi ori Uri shildaberi Kevod Adonai alayich nigla Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Sing with us at home. La ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקרא כלה פני שבת
Page 45, we continue with our Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai
O God, how can we know you? Where can we find you? You are as close to us as breathing, yet you are farther than the farthermost star. You are as mysterious as the vast solitudes of the night, yet as familiar to us as the light of the sun. To Moses you said, "You cannot see my face, but I will make all my goodness pass before you." Even so does your goodness pass before us in the realm of nature and in the varied experiences of our lives together, when justice burns like a flaming fire within us, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when, to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives, then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be upon thy heart. Thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. Thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thy house and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto thy God. I, the Lord, am thy God, who led thee out of Egypt to be thy God. I, the Lord, am thy God. The redemption from Egypt was but the first of many deliverances our people has known. As our liturgy recounts and our history recalls, in every generation we have made the journey from the darkness of suffering to the light of hope. We commemorate one of those redemptions next week. In anticipation of Hanukkah, these words by Emma Lazarus, which call us to be Maccabees, kindling light against the darkness of our own time, this very difficult moment in our nation's history. She wrote, "Kindle the taper like the steadfast star ablaze on evening's forehead o'er the earth, and add each night a luster till afar an eightfold splendor shine above thy hearth. Clash, Israel, the cymbals, touch the lyre, blow the brass trumpet and the harsh-tongued horn. Chant psalms of victory till the heart takes fire. The Maccabean spirit leap reborn."
מלכותך ובניך פוקע ים לפני משה
Page 49. As you have redeemed our people Israel and enabled us to prevail over arms stronger than our own, so may you give hope to all who are oppressed and persecuted. We praise you, eternal God, Redeemer of Israel.
השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום. השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים ולשלום, ולשלום. השכיבנו, השכיבנו, אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. ברכת שלומך. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. אדוני אלוהינו לשלום.
O God of Israel, may our worship on this day help us to grow in loyalty to our covenant with you and to the way of life it demands, the way of gentleness and justice, the path of truth and of peace.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai tifta. Na 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 Ufi yagi. Ufi yagi tehilatecha. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai tifta. Na 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 Ufi yagi. Ufi yagi tehilatecha. Together. Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai tifta. Na 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 Ufi yagi. Ufi yagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora Eleyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Eternal God, the power of your Spirit pervades all creation. When we open our hearts to you, we are filled with your strength, the strength to bear our afflictions, the strength to refuse them victory, the strength to overcome them. And then our will is renewed, to lift up the fallen, to set free the captive, to heal the sick, to bring light to all who dwell in darkness. Add your strength to ours, O God, so that when death casts its shadow, we shall yet be able to say, O source of blessing, you are with us in death as in life. Page 53. May the sense of God's presence be with us along our way, helping us to discover the peace and rest some have lost or never known, renewing our covenant of peace with all created things. And may we become more than we have been, more than we are, reaching for perfection beyond our grasp, growing and learning one day to make this day's peace a peace for all days, learning one day to do justly and love mercy and walk humbly alongside the one who walks with us. In this moment, we gather into our prayers, into our hearts, all those who are struggling with illness and loss. And our hearts must be made larger because we know there are so many millions. In our own lives, too, there are those we know who are in need of our prayers for strength. In this moment, we invite you to share their names aloud. We may not be able to hear them here, but God surely can. We continue with our healing prayer, our Misha Berach. The words will be on your screens.
Misha Berach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheperach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheperach avotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. Mi sheperach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as Misha
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol ha'shalom. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Baruch atah Adonai, oseh hashalom.
There isn't a woman who has grown up in the United States who doesn't know about shoe cards, though she might call them by a different name. A shoe card can be a simple card, a tear strip, a phone number. Above all, it's a resource intentionally placed in a safe, private place, such as a gym's locker room or restroom, where those who seek a lifeline of knowledge, support, or services will be able to access it. Many tuck the information, often about access to reproductive services or how to leave an abusive relationship, into their shoe, where it is unlikely or less likely to be discovered. That knowledge has the potential to change the course of a life. For so many, this small self-affirming act takes untold courage. Once in hand, fear mixes with relief. There's no way to tell whether a woman will actually use the new information underfoot. First, she has to navigate the weight of shame and self-criticism that prevents her from taking the next steps. But having a possible path, a way to move forward, can bring her hope. For the past 8 months, COVID has demanded all of our attention and required an urgent, ongoing response from us all. And so it has overshadowed almost everything else. The disease has brought the world to a standstill, encouraging people to shelter safely at home. But for some, home isn't a place of safety. For countless people, primarily women, being at home, isolated from social interactions that work or school provides, home is anything but safe for those who have experienced domestic violence. Healthcare professionals call this a pandemic within a pandemic. As early as April, it was noted that as COVID levels soared, so did the levels of abuse. And how did they know? With the same support systems in place, abuse reports were down dramatically. And the conclusion was that either women didn't have access to helplines or services, or they couldn't make use of them. This consequential action had no buffer. By observing stay-at-home guidelines, there was no relief for whatever pressures women were experiencing at home. What happens behind closed doors remains unseen by most. On this side of that closed door, despite our goodwill and good intentions, too often we fail to see the signs or are not yet sensitized to this intimate, private terrorism at home. Isn't it ironic that as social media discloses the twists and turns of our lives, even the missteps, domestic violence remains hidden, one of the last taboos? What will break that code of silence? Silence brings us to the parasha. Vayishlach is most often celebrated for its reconciliation between the estranged twins, Jacob and Esau, and for the famous wrestling match between Jacob and a divine messenger or angel, or perhaps even God. And that results in a new name and identity, Yisrael. And ever since, we have proudly identified ourselves as B'nai Yisrael, children of Israel. But there is another less noted but equally important story in the Torah portion, a story of silence and being silenced. It can be summarized briefly. Dinah, the daughter of Leah and Jacob, left the safety of her home and was raped. After the fact, the rapist decided that he was in love with Dinah and pleaded with his own father, Hamor, to arrange the marriage. What would you expect a father to say when he learns that his daughter has been assaulted? Here is what Jacob said. Nothing. Whether he couldn't respond or he chose not to, the text doesn't elaborate. For us as readers, the silence itself speaks. Remember that this is Jacob, who stood up to his father-in-law, demanding that he be able to marry Rachel after he had been tricked into marrying her sister, Leah. Jacob amassed wealth, and yet he had the strength to leave the comfort of his new life to return home to make peace with a brother he had betrayed years before. This was the courageous man who remained silent in the face of Dinah's abuse. Her biological brothers, Shimon and Levi, responded instead, telling the rapist's father that their sister could not possibly be married to someone who was not circumcised. If, they said, all the men of the town would agree to circumcision, then the match could go forward. When the entire city was recuperating and the men were incapacitated by pain, Shimon and Levi slaughtered them all. If these were honor killings, we might ask, whose honor was being protected? Was it really Dinah that they were so concerned about? Only then was Jacob moved to anger, and he spoke to his sons harshly, saying, "What if their violence endangered the whole family by inviting retribution by other neighboring peoples?" And Shimon and Levi said to their father, "Should our sister be treated like a whore?" The brothers spoke a truth that is obvious and painful in a different way. Dinah was their sister, but Jacob never accorded her the honor due a daughter. Ellen Frankel, author of the 5 books of Miriam, writes a midrash in Dinah's voice. "From the moment of my birth, I was fated to remain silent. When I was born, my name, unlike my brothers, was unannounced and without interpretation. When I was raped, my cries went unrecorded. When my brothers negotiated with Hamor for my hand, my wishes were not considered. And when my father Jacob bestowed his blessings upon his children, I received none. That was why I visited the Canaanite women. Utterly invisible at home, I craved attention and went out looking for it. Only too late did I learn that neglect is not the only injury a woman can suffer." Enshrined in generations of rabbinic commentary about Dinah is blame for leaving the safety of home. Blaming the victim, that erroneous assertion that the victim acted in a manner that invited the assault, is second only to the smug assertion that she got what she deserved. Both assumptions are wrong, but persist in prejudicing perceptions of victims, even today. And throughout the ordeal, throughout the chapter, throughout the Torah, Dinah never said a word. Her silence comes down through the generations, urging women to reclaim their voices. 5 years ago, when Chanel Miller was brutally assaulted on Stanford University's campus, she wrote an impact statement before her attacker was sentenced. At the time, she was given the protective pseudonym Emily Doe, which speaks to the universality of her experience. The penetrating impact it had on her soul is one which is felt by every person who has ever been a victim. Miller wrote, "You took away my worth, my privacy, my energy, my time, my safety, my intimacy, my confidence, my own voice until today." And using her voice to send a message of affirmation to others who have been abused, she wrote, "To girls everywhere, I am with you. On nights when you feel alone, I am with you. When people doubt you or dismiss you, I am with you." And speaking of her own legal battles for justice, she continued, "I fought every day for you, so never stop fighting. I believe you." As the author Anne Lamott once wrote, lighthouses don't go running all over an island looking for boats to save. They just stand there shining. "Although I can't save every boat," she wrote, "I hope that by speaking today, you absorbed a small bit of light, a small knowing that you can't be silenced, a small satisfaction that justice was served, a small assurance that we are getting somewhere, and a big, big knowing that you are important unquestionably. You are untouchable. You are beautiful. You are to be valued, respected undeniably every minute of the day, You are powerful, and no one can take that away from you. To girls everywhere, I am with you. This must be our message too. During the pandemic and lockdown, for those who are not safe, even in their own home. We are with you. We believe you. You are worthy. You are not to blame. In speaking with other women about this, I asked, where is the comfort, the nechemta, the resolution, the tiny solution that is supposed to come at the conclusion of a sermon? And we all know that speaking about violence against women doesn't cure it. But speaking is a step toward shining a light on it, a light that is especially important now as our gaze is diverted elsewhere. Along with surges in hospital admissions and the question of who gets the vaccine, domestic violence is also part of this pandemic. If we can shine a light on the path, a door may open for those who need help finding their way to safety. The support of a loving community may give them the courage to put on their shoes and take the next step. Let us walk with them, and let us walk together. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be so.
זמירות ושירים ארוג, כי אליך נפשי תערוג, כי אליך, נפשי תערוג, נפשי חמדה בצע ידך, לדעת קורות סודך. נפשי תערוג. על כן נדבר בך נכבדות, ושמך כבד בשירי ידידות. כי אליך עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל. ושכינת עוזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים.
Page 110. To open eyes when others close them, to hear when others do not wish to listen, to look when others turn away, to seek to understand when others give up, to rouse oneself when others accept, to continue the struggle even when one is not the strongest, to cry out when others keep silent. To be a Jew, it is that, it is first of all that, and further to live when others are gone, and to remember when others have forgotten. At this time of tender memory, we call to our hearts and lovingly mention by name cherished members of our own congregational family, were summoned unto eternity during this past week or at this time in years past. David C. Adelman, David Alfond, Annette Aronstam, Joan Barron, Maurice Bloch, Richard Brunschweiger, Helene L. Buttonwieser, Sylvia Youngworth Cohn, Alan Green, Sylvia A. Grief, Rita Guibert Hertzberg, Toby Heller, George Q. Horowitz, Ira Lee Jackson, Ellen Vine Schenkel Jacobson, Michael Corey, Elizabeth S. Kramer, Kenneth Kupferberg, Dorothy Mitzner, Jose Perez, Luis Perez, Florence Platt, Sarah Reckler, Donald Roden, Robert Charles Rosenberg, Maureen Z. Rosenkrantz, Ellen Vine Schenkel Jacobson, Martin Schoolman, Roberta Brockman Schranz, Seymour Seewoff, Alex Slobodinsky, Molly Udell, Robert Waller, Libby Wasserman Zion, Jack Zuckerman. We remember with you if you are in recent mourning. We remember with you if you are recalling the yahrzeit of a loved one. We remember all those who have been lost to COVID. And now we pray as one, the Mourner's Kaddish on page 111. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, Yom divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, Chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedechol beit Yisrael, V'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Hei shemei rabbah mivorach leolam la'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpoar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'rechu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata de'amiram bi'olma, v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemai v'chayim, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for joining us. Temple Emanu-El continues to be a house of prayer and study and connection for all. A few announcements for the coming week. Tomorrow, of course, Torah study at 9:15, followed by services at 10:30. On Sunday at 10, the Men's Club welcomes Dr. Joan Lurie, who will speak about education as the key to peace between Palestinians and Israelis. And on Thursday, the virtual Stryker Center presents Valley of Tears, an intimate look at the 1973 war. Be sure to enjoy our ongoing activities throughout the week, such as our Monday morning meditation, our Teens Racial Justice Discussion Group, Baby Bop, our support group for seniors. Every evening from Sunday through Thursday at 5:30, you are invited to join our sunset worship through our website or Facebook page. The first Hanukkah candle will be lit on Thursday during the daily service. Friday night, December 11th, is our congregational Hanukkah service and celebration featuring a video that you helped to make, Kululam, a story, and our members' candlelighting, which will be held by Zoom. Be sure to sign up for that link by contacting the membership office. You can be sure that events and activities for every age and stage will be held throughout Hanukkah. Following the service on Friday, there is latke making, which is suitable for all. Latkes and vodka and trivia, and that's for young members. Sunday morning, young families and explorers, teens, college connection, and Saviv celebrate the following week. Be sure to catch up with all the events on our website or through the e-news. Emanu-El Cares is sponsoring an important lecture on coping with losses during this COVID season, and that's Tuesday, December 15th. And information on a variety of Tikkun Olam opportunities to provide for others, including a toy drive, can be found on our website. There are so many ways to connect, to learn, to celebrate, and to help. Go to our website, emmanuelnyc.org. We hope to see you here with us on Zoom and one day soon in person, we pray, soon and often. We continue now with Kiddush on page 113.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hakafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'rata banu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon inchilanu. Zikaron למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר לציון מצרים. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
We conclude with the singing of Romemu on page 88.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May God's light shine on you and be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May God's countenance be turned toward yours and grant you the blessings of peace.